Hello, welcome. Today that we discuss how to prepare a lesson plan in English. First that I will give you the format of a lesson plan. Then first that we include the date. Next the subject. Subject, if it is English, that you can write English. Then the grade. The grade. Afterwards the time. Time can be given in minutes. That we use minutes to write the time. Then the unit and the theme. Unit and the theme can be taken from your textbook, the relevant unit, according to that, the theme. Next, the competency and competency level. All those are much important, but some of teachers that they think that how to get all those things, the competency and the competency level. With the help of the TG, that you are able to get the competency and the competency level quickly. That you better browse that your TG, and afterwards that you will be able to find the relevant competency and relevant competency level in given table. Then the lesson. It is different according to the subject that you teach. If it is English, that you can get the grammar lessons, sometimes the dialogues, comprehension paragraphs, like that. All those things different according to the lesson that you are going to discuss. Next, the learning outcomes. All those are much important, and it based on 3 domains: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Then all those things, the first, then the cognitive, the learner must be able to explain. Then that he is able to summarize all those things that you have to include when you write within that headline. Then they are able to calculate, name, comment, etc. Separately, that you will have to identify what you must write according to the lessons that you teach. Then affective, all those things belongs to propose. The learner must be able to propose, they motivate, they follow, they discuss the things that you have to add related to the affective domain. Then the psychomotor. The learner must be able to exhibit, then create, they are able to draw, and they find out. All those things can be seen in psychomotor. But I think separately that you need not to get them into tables, and commonly that you are able to write the learning outcomes. The learning outcomes can be written commonly. Separately, that if you write all those things, that you better use these domains: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Separately, that if you can write them. Otherwise, commonly all those things can be included. But here that I have taken only four steps to write learning outcomes. But it is not a constant. According to the lesson that you are going to teach, that you can decide that how many steps that you must write there. Next point is learning and teaching techniques. Learning and teaching techniques. They are also the method of discussion can be used. Next, the questionnaire and the group activities can be given. It is learning and teaching techniques. Then learning and teaching resources. The resources that you use to do your lesson. Now, that's also different according to the teacher and with your facilities. Then all those resources that we can include: the video, the certain diagrams, the picture postcards, tables, all those are necessary to use to see an excellent end of your lesson. Next, learning and teaching process. Learning and teaching process, first that we have to take an approach. For the approach that we take, only 3 minutes. More than 3 minutes, if you want to take, just that you consider the time of the period. Then, afterwards that we will have to develop the lesson. There, for the development that I have taken 4 steps that we have to write, 4 steps that how we have developed the lesson. The first that we, after the approach, then that how you start the lesson. They are also traditionally that I am going to teach like this. All those things are erroneous and all those are not used at present. But there are that certain ways to start a lesson without mentioning the topic. All those things that you know well. Then the further first step also that we have to get the time allocation. That's also can be taken in minutes. The second, that how do you develop the first step using the second step. All those things are parallel and equivalent. Step by step that we are going to develop the topic. Then the third step, fourth steps like that. In brief, that you write the time that you have taken to develop the lesson. Then finally, the summary. The summary, after the approach that we have used 4 steps to develop the lesson. The summary means as a whole that you present the facts, the things that you have discussed, and that you give them a sound idea of the lesson. That's also an important part in writing lesson plans. Afterwards, we get evaluation and feedback. The evaluation and feedback, the lesson that you are going to do or that you made, it can be prepared. Then when we get a grammar lesson, the grammar lesson, we can give the similar questions, similar questions to answer. That's also an evaluation and feedback. An assignment, or verbally also that you can give that some questions to them. Then homeworks. The other thing is the homeworks related to the lesson that you give. You must give homeworks, not any other lessons that you need not to use any other lessons, the previous teaching, and then take the present lesson that you have taught and it can be used to give homeworks. Attachments. The attachments are much important. The attachments means the things that you have used to make a successful end. The sometimes previously that we have discussed the diagrams, then photos, sometimes the certain instructions, the related, the words, the technical words related to a lesson, the technical words that you have used to explain the lesson. Specifically, all those things can be used as attachments, the related things. Then if we have used a poem to explain the lesson, that poem also is an attachment, that you can use an attachment. There are all the instructions, sometimes the poems and the specific words, then pictures, all those things can be taken as attachments. The notes. Notes means that finally that we decide how long that we could be successful in teaching. There also a self-evaluation, and that we are able to write that how long that we could complete the lesson successfully. Finally, the notes of the observer. The notes of the observer should be completed by an ISA or such kind of an officer. Those are the steps that you have to find to make a complete lesson plan. I think all those things would be much helpful for your best teaching.